Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring some doublets. And today is two boxes stacking up together. Okay, it's not it's not like logistic industry, like containers stacking up together. Two boxes. Okay, if you know Chinese a little bit, if just one box itself by itself, it means mouse. It's our mouse symbol, and originally the mouse symbol came from the footwear, a pot that was not exactly in the shape of a box. So box was a later simplification, and so in even later days, when we look at the two boxes stacking up together, I have no clue what that could be. This pronounces Lu. Probably this is first time ever in the show that when I mark the pronunciation, I have two dots on top of the U. So instead of a wu sound, this is yu sound. So as you can tell, this is a more, sophisticated pronunciation, more sophisticated vowel. And lu, the third tone, is more sophisticated pronunciation, the tone. Okay, I would say this character starting off just by the sound of it, the marking of the sound there looks intriguing. It actually means spine. So those boxes actually is the vertebrae super simplification. So by now, I think I came across several cases of, like yesterday, we have this moon and meat share the same icon. And the later days, the tracks was removed and we have no clue that it was one or the other, or even multiple. We don't know. So in this case, the later days, when it's mouse symbol, when two mouses stacking up together, it doesn't really, how does that even make sense, right? I guess you can make some sense. You have to make up some stories. But if you look at traditional Chinese, there is this dot connecting the two boxes. That's reflecting how 2,000 years ago's Xushen dictionary recorded this almost like a box-looking thing, which is kind of depicting how a vertebrae would look like. And then there's this connector. And this connector is vertical, like exact 90-degree perpendicular to them, because that's honest depiction of how a spine, different vertebrae got connected, versus the traditional Chinese, which was already after standardization and efficiency improvement. It's simply connecting the two boxes by slant line to speed up the writing, because after 1, 2, 3, your stroke stop at this location, and then the next box you're going to, so basically from top left to bottom right, you stop at the bottom right here, and you're going to do the next box on the top left of the next box. You have to move your stroke this way, right? So notice diagonal line is kind of a track in that trajectory of the brush, ending here, going here, connecting. So that's simply the flow of the brush. So there we go. We figure out those two box-looking things are not mouse symbol, which was not a box to start with. So both vertebrae or the mouse symbol, neither of those were just pure boxes, even if in later days we regard Chinese as boxes upon boxes. We have box inside the box, right? Box on top of box. So that almost became stereotype of what Chinese is about, is this, sharp 90-degree corners. Things are boxy. Not true. All these were the later day simplification, streamification, streamlining things. All right, so Lu came from the spine, and then we have examples. The last two were family names, because Lu apparently was one of the, the kingmakers or the king supporter, that the king eventually compared this person, the importance to the survival of the kingdom as a spine. that's a quite high compliment from a ruler to the people who are supporting the ruler. So that ruler gift this important meaning spine onto somebody's, and so that the family later on carry this, king given family name as spine, and eventually we kind of lose track of, okay, this actually means a spine. Okay, we have Lü Wang. Lü Wang actually is, I guess, one of the legendary, another kingmaker. That was the descendant of the first kingmaker we were talking about. The descendant was kind of, according to legendary, was casually waiting and fishing by the riverside, who often goes by Jiangzi Ya, another naming. I mean, ancient times, human namings were complicated. One person can have multiple names, serving different functions. Some social functions, mostly, I guess, social functions. Some functions are between friends who kind of pick out the feature of that person, or some well-wishing from your family to say you carry like a Wang. Wang means hope. So you carry the family hope. And this family hope guy was fishing, and then the king's people, not sure if the king was in there, passed by and started a conversation, and this fisherman had a famous saying of 姜子牙钓鱼愿者上钩. I guess it's not this person himself was saying this. It's a later days commentary of this character, this Lü Wang, this person, one of the names that go by 姜子牙, that this 姜子牙, when he was fishing, 愿者上钩. If you're willing to take the bait, you do. So it describes scammers in later days. If you take the bait, I guess, then you would, it's on you. So I guess the difference is 姜子牙钓鱼, when this wise person of the descendant of the kingmaker was fishing, he had no expectations of whatsoever or trying to scam anybody, just fishing. And because of, I guess, his genetic lineage, the pedigree, and also his fame as somebody who know a wise man, a sage status, and then even if he looks like a fisherman, he was discovered and brought in front of the king to become a next generation kingmaker. So the later day scammers often use this as if like the fault is on you because you took the bite. But the difference is the scammers are actively trying to social engineer you into the biting of the bait, right? But this person historically or legendarily was not about seeking to be famous or to be a kingmaker. All right. Lü Dongbin was a fictional figure, I would say, from Taoism. It was one of the 8 fairies that got special, I guess, fairy godly superpowers. And we have an expression of 狗咬吕洞宾，不识好人心. Okay, so I guess every such figure exists in our set expression so that later day people remember their name as well as the main anecdote about that person. So basically the dog bite onto this Lü Dongbin, this fairy or this god, and then 不识好人心, the dog didn't recognize that the goodwill from Lü Dongbin is, the good intention on another people that you actually attack them. So that, of course, use this expression to describe a common human behavior, that you were kind of harming whoever actually were helping you. All right. 六吕, the top one, is a new discovery. The top one was one that kept me so captivated. And I just learned recently that in my mind, I know Chinese music is pentatonic, known for its pentatonic scale. So the Western music is a chromatic scale, 12 notes in one octave, versus Chinese, we just use 5 of them. And that kind of gave me kind of a musical inferior complex for a long time because I was born into China and I was raised in this. Of course, I got exposure to pop music, Western harmony and all that. But like traditional Chinese music, they sound so limited. Only 5 notes out of 12, right? So Liu Lu kind of fixed me on that that inferiority already complex. That Chinese ancient times, way before Western, invented or understand the 12 notes within an octave, the chromatic scale. Chinese already figured that out. And in fact, they map that 12 notes with the Chinese understanding of the universe, yin and yang. So the odd notes, starting from the C note as the yang, the male positive energy, versus Lu was this even number sequence, and they were regarded as the yin notes. So yin yang times 6. That's the view of Chinese back then, of all the notes out there. They were alternatively male, female, or yin and yang, or yin and yin, starting with yin and then yin. So this is yin representing. And I think that's because the Lu as a spine means things are orderly. Things are sequenced. Like you cannot misplace a vertebrae at all. They have to come in exact position in their line, in their chain. And that's mapped onto music. You cannot switch notes. The notes sequenced in this 12 chromatic scale. Exact that. You cannot shuffle them around as it's, pitch increasing or decreasing way. So spine mapped to music notes. And the Liu is out of this 12 chromatic scale. 6 of them were in. So here is the spine view. Lu, thank you for your time. See you another day.